Hello, and thank you for joining me on this rather wet and dark morning here in England. So we are going to be looking at sort of setting an intention, I guess, an intentional practice. And in yoga, there are 8 limbs. I do mention these on and off, so over time, this will start to become more and more familiar. So the 8 limbs, they start with your moral codes. So the first 2 limbs are all, it's a bit like your 10 commandments, you know, being honest, being kind. And then it moves into the physical practice. And those limbs climb all the way up to the 8th limb, which is Samadhi, which means undistractedness. It's the ability to move away from worry and anxiety and fear, and move towards oneness, this idea that we're all connected, there's something bigger. It's quite a nice concept, and occasionally in life and on your yoga mat and when you're absorbed in a task, you get those little moments, don't you, where you suddenly feel, just feel like that connection. So as we move through our relaxation practice this morning, we're just going to bear that in mind. So when you're ready, I'd like you to sit comfortably and close your eyes. And just bring yourself into this moment. And we have that choice, don't we, when we arrive on our yoga mat. And I say choice, it's a practice as well. I know it doesn't happen instantly, but we have that choice to lay aside any tasks that are waiting for us. We kindly just move away from thoughts if we can, and we bring ourselves into the present moment. And one way to do that is to align the body, so we have a focus on where we are in space. So if you think about your head, and just arrange it so that your head is sitting directly above your rib cage, and your rib cage is sitting directly above your pelvis. So that might involve a little bit of movement. And then just bring yourself to that place of alignment. It's almost as though you're plugging in to the earth through the base of the spine and plugging into the skies through the crown of the head. So we've become aligned. If you like to think of this as bringing yourself into the present moment. And then I just want you to feel into your body, just with kindness. Notice how you feel, so you can methodically scan. Just checking in with your face. Are you holding tension? Can you relax a little? Checking in with your neck and your shoulders. Relaxing the arms, letting the hands gently rest. Bringing awareness to the center of your chest, your yogic heart space. Feeling that openness in the heart, that subtle rise of the chest. And feeling down your back, your spine. Feeling supported and strong. Feeling down into the tummy and into your hips. Really imagining or encouraging softness in the hips. And just letting the legs rest wherever they land. And once we scan the body, we're going to take our awareness to our breath. Breathing in, noticing the breath drawing up through the nostrils, traveling down into the lungs. And breathing out, just feeling that breath moving back up and down and out through the nostrils. Just allowing yourself to become focused truly on the breath for the next few moments. Breathing in and breathing out. In touch with my breath, my heart open. You might like to repeat that inside your mind. I am in touch with my breath. My heart is open. This is where we begin to kind of just touch the surface of this idea of Samadhi, this idea of oneness. I'm in touch with my breath. My heart is open. So just bringing one hand to rest on the heart and take your other hand and press it on top. So as you breathe in, just feel into your heart center. I'm in touch with my breath and my heart is open. Start to feel an expansion and openness in the heart center. So on a physical level, that's your rib cage, your lungs. But on an energetic level, that is your heart. There's all these expressions: open-hearted, warm-hearted, kind-hearted, big-hearted. This is love, this is compassion, this is being connected. So we're going to start to move from our heart. So our hands are pressed together here. On the breath in, we're going to take the arms open, maybe leaning back a little. And on your breath out, just bring your hands back to your heart. Just exaggerate that dropping down, so curling the spine and dropping the chin. Open up on your in-breath. My heart is open. And exhale, bring the hands back to connect with your heart. I'm connected to my breath. Inhaling, my heart is open. And on the out-breath, hands to heart. I'm in touch with my breath. Next time you breathe in, simply sit tall. Just drop the arms down by your sides. So we're going to come back to this kind of sitting and that focus. But I thought what we would do first is just move a little bit so that our hips and our legs and our shoulders and other parts of the body that sometimes distract our mind, they can have a little chance to get comfy. So if you just bring yourself onto your back. So you're simply lying down, so your head is resting on the floor. So when you lie down, if you feel that your head isn't comfortable, perhaps your chin is sticking up here, please find a little block or a blanket or a cushion, just so that you can have the back of your neck long. So we're still aware of this idea of alignment for the head, the heart, the chest, yeah, even though we've moved from upright to lying down. So the knees are bent. And what I'd like you to do is take your right knee and just hug it in. Just really draw it in towards your chest. It's another opportunity to feel into the body. Can you find your breath here? You might be aware of a slight stretch in your hips. And I want you to draw this right knee over to the right. So you're just gently changing that direction, as if your knee's trying to tuck into your armpit. And then, if you can, leaving the knee as close to your chest as you can, bring your foot up. So as if you're trying to stand on the ceiling, so your foot is parallel to the sky, to the ceiling. And just grab your foot with your hand. If you can't reach your foot, just hold the back of your thigh. And what you're aiming for is a right angle, knee and thigh. Don't worry if that's not happening, but it's just nice to know the sort of the intention. So this would be known as the half contented baby or happy baby pose. What I'd like you to do now is draw that knee back into your chest. So give yourself that little hug. But this time your left leg's going to stretch out. Stretch it away from you. Really push into the heel as you draw this hip towards you. And then release completely, open the body up into a full stretch. Arms up and overhead. Feet reaching away like a big old yawn. And then we come back to bent knees. And we hug that left knee in. So just draw it towards your chest. Back of the neck is long, shoulders relaxed. Just feeling into that left side, that left hip. Take the knee across to the armpit. So it's just slightly changing the position of that knee. Hugging in. And then if you can, without moving that knee from hugging in, you're going to try and lift your foot to the sky. So your knee is bent and your foot is flat. You maybe hold the foot if you can reach it. If you can, you're just holding onto the back of this thigh, half contented baby. Nice, let the foot come down and hug that knee back in. This time, just stretch your right leg away, push that heel, and breathe. Beautiful full body stretch. Really stretch it out. Nice. We're bending those knees. Tuck the pelvis under. So just give that pelvis a little tuck and then place it back down. Arms are by your side. You're simply going to lift the arms up on a breath in. And on the breath out, drop them back down by your side. So we're rolling over those shoulders. It should feel really nice. Inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. I'm going to give you options to build on this, but you can stay exactly where you are if this is where you need to be. So the option here would be to lift the hips up as well as taking those arms up and over. And on the out breath, you'd lower everything back down. So you might stay here now for a few breaths. The key is to really tune into the breathing and let the breath dictate how long these movements take. Okay, so the next option, if you want, is to, on the out breath, just take a little reach beyond your knee. So you're curling in. Only if that feels good. You can carry on with any version. And the final choice here would be to curl in the knees as well. So the feet come up and you squeeze into a little ball. So whichever version you are on, we're going to take 2 more breaths. Inhaling, exhaling. And then we're pausing. We're letting the arms rest. Just want you to take both legs now up to the air. Push the heels away, a little space between your feet. The backs of the legs are open, so try to straighten those legs. You will be using those tummy muscles. We're just going to circle the feet one way and circle them the other way. If it feels good, you can let the arms lift up and over or out to the sides. Nice, let those knees drop. Scooch behind the knees with your hands. Really draw the knees in. Bring the chin up. Using your feet to give you a bit of momentum, start to roll along your spine. Good. We're going to come all the way up to sitting. And then just get yourself comfortable again. So wherever you're comfortable in your seated position, move into that now. So we're going to bring that awareness back to our alignment. If it helps, close your eyes. And then see if you can visualize your head. Feel your head sitting, just balanced on the top of your neck. Just notice where it is in space. So we all have habits, yeah? Some of us kind of, the chin sticks out. Some of us are more kind of maybe dropping the chin down. So this is your chance to kind of really align, bring yourself into the most, I suppose it's the most natural position, although habits obviously make that tricky to find. But if you think of a small child, a baby that's just learned to sit, how beautiful their posture is. We're coming back to that, the heavy head, put it in the right place. And then let your shoulders, take them up to your ears, drop them back and down. So the shoulders just slope away, the arms just resting. Let's bring awareness into the rib cage, directly underneath our head. And whilst you're here, see if you can bring that awareness back to the very center and feel that lovely openness. Good. Take the awareness down into your pelvis, hip bones. Perhaps you can even picture or sense the very top of your hips and the very bottom of your ribs. And find the space between the two as you breathe. Gentle drawing back of the tummy to support you. Nice. Drop the awareness into your hips, hopefully feeling a little bit more free and comfortable. And down into your legs. Perfect. Bring one hand and the other over your heart. Take a breath in. My heart is open those arms. And on the breath out, bring your hands back together. I am in touch with my breath. Inhale, open up. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhaling. And exhaling, hands to heart. Just pausing there for a moment. You can allow your chin to drop. Let the shoulders drop. And then coming back to upright. Keeping the hands there, closing the eyes. So it's these moments where we encourage ourselves or allow ourselves time to be present. And when we're present, when we're here in the body, in the breath, in our hearts, we are not allowing time or not allowing our energy to move to any anxiety or fear or worry, stress. We allow all of that to fall away. We move away from that and we move towards feeling that sense of oneness. Nice. Releasing those hands as you open your eyes. I'm going to do one last little bit of movement before we come into relaxation in earnest. So if you can come to a space where you have room in front of you, so come to kneeling. And we're going to just we're going to do pose of a child. Either knees stay together, or you have the option to part your knees. So whichever version you choose, make sure you're comfortable. So we're all very, very different. If your bottom, for example, lifts up, there's two things you can do. Three things, actually. Part your knees wider, or put something under your bottom and on your feet, or put something under your head, so at least your head still finds support, or perhaps the head comes up, and so the bottom can come down. So we've all found something, a way to rest that head. We're trying to get the hips down. The head is resting on a pillow, a blanket, the floor, or maybe your forearms or your fists. So then you have a choice whether your arms are extended out in front or whether you're just going to momentarily rest them by your feet. And we're going to take a beautiful 2-3 breaths here. And I want you to, because now you're bent forwards, perhaps you can't feel so much the front of your heart. So can you feel into the back of your heart? So feel that connection to the back of your heart as you breathe in and out. Inhale and exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. We're going to stretch the arms out in front. Lift the head and just reach the arms over to the right and bow the head back down. So now we're breathing into this left side and opening up between each rib cage. Then we're going to walk over to the middle And then take those hands over to the left, bow the head. Breathe into this right side. Beautiful. Coming back to the center. So we're going to let our body lie down now. So we're going to slide those hands forwards, keep the head low. Slide it forward so the hips come up. Keep sliding, elbows will come down. Keep sliding, hips come down, belly comes down. So I want you to get those elbows and put them underneath your shoulders. So we have like a perpendicular line, shoulders to elbows there. Hands and arms and forearms out in front, so palms flat down on the earth. Tops of the feet pressing onto the floor. And as you come into Sphinx pose, I want you to bring your focus to the front of your body. So yes, the back of the body's working. We're contracting our back muscles as we move into our back bend. But can you find space in your heart? Breathing in and breathing out. Good. We're going to lower down so that we can take our hands out to the side. So our elbows are coming up now, fingertips on the floor. So this time when you breathe in, you lift yourself up. And then you breathe out as you lower back down. And let your chin, your head drop. So on that in-breath, my heart is open. On the out-breath, I am connected to my breath. Inhale, lift. My heart is open. Exhale, I am connected to my breath. Good, that's the one. That's the last one. We're going to let those hands come by our side. So under your shoulders, hug your elbows in, tuck your toes, and just push up. Push all the way up. You're in all fours. You're moving all the way back to kneeling. And then we're going to come to lying down on our backs, ready for full relaxation. So stretch those legs out, maybe a little bit wider than hip width. Arms down by your sides, palms up. Take a little time to get comfy, so there might be a little shimmy of shoulders, a tucking of chin, a rolling of head, tucking of pelvis, shaking out of the legs. So the same rules apply. If that head feels like it's not comfy, pop a little blanket underneath to lengthen the back of the neck. Beautiful. Close your eyes. Take a long breath in. Open the mouth. And on that out breath, feel the body soften. Let go of any effort in the forehead, in the cheekbones, in the throat. Let go of tension in the neck and the shoulders, in the armpits. Let the arms rest. As you bring awareness into the chest, enjoy that space, that openness, that freedom of movement. Feel it down into your belly, the whole of your back. Let go of any effort. Bring your awareness all the way down into your pelvis, your hips, your glutes. All the way down your thighs to your knees. All the way to your feet. So the whole of your body is completely still and at ease. It's a beautiful state of rest. So let's find that connection once more. So perhaps we can imagine that we have this beautiful light shining down from above the crown of the head, and this light just shines down through the whole of the body. And as the light travels down, you feel this sense of belonging, this sense of oneness, being part of the bigger picture. So now this beautiful light has filled the whole of your body. And let's say the very center of this light is in your heart. So when you breathe in, this light expands and it touches every part of your body. And as you breathe out, it draws back into your heart center. And what I'd like you to do for the next few rounds of breath is imagine this beautiful orb of light in the heart, growing bigger and bigger with each breath. So perhaps the next breath, there's a big ball of energy all around you, so your whole body is encompassed by this big bubble of light. And the out breath simply draws your awareness back to your heart. And with each breath in, that light spreads, it gets bigger. Let it take up the room. Let it take up the building. So let that sense of space and openness, and also feeling out, feeling connected, grow with each and every breath. It's a beautiful visualization. And that little ball of energy, that ball of light can grow as big as your imagination will allow. So maybe now it's encompassing your country. Why not? Maybe it's encompassing a continent. Can it grow even bigger? Can this energy, this light, encircle the whole of the planet? And with each and every breath, grows bigger still. Maybe it even encompasses all the planets, all of the universe. So the breath in, there's that expansion. And the breath out, we remind ourselves of this place in the heart. Nice. So for the next few rounds of breath, you can begin to draw that all back in, so that big ball of light grew and grew and grew, and each breath now just draw it all back in. Each breath it gets smaller and smaller, and we're just gathering it and we're bringing it back into our body. And with it comes this beautiful sense of oneness. And in this little precise moment in time, there is nothing more, there is nothing less. Nice. Okay, guys, time to just gently wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, feeling into your physical body once more, bones and your muscles, stretching out the arms and the legs. Maybe an opportunity for one more full body stretch, and one more hugging in of knees. Squeeze them in. And when you're ready, bring yourself to seated. Let your hands come down by your side. Open your eyes wide. Greet the day, greet the world. Full of energy. Let's take a breath in, palms touching. And on the breath out, draw the hands to the heart. May the light in me